everybody, welcome back. It's Jen. Today we are going to have another coffee talk. I'm going to chat a little bit about some things I'm watching on Disney Plus. We're going to talk about some news and rumors. And finally, I'm going to be taking some of your questions and I'm going to be talking about Run Disney. So stick around. I'm really glad that you're here, and yeah, let's just dive right in. So my drink of the day today is, this is, I think, grapefruit polar seltzer. I know it's grapefruit polar seltzer, served in a cup that was made for me by a friend of mine. It even has my name on it, so we know it's mine, and it's so very cute, and I just love it. Are you guys polar seltzer fans? I don't know. I don't like LaCroix, but I do like polar seltzer. So let's just dive right in because we have a lot to talk about. I do want to let you know that I participated in a really fun thing on Saturday night. It was a kind of like a radio theater reading of The Grinch Who Stole Christmas, and I played the part of Betty Lou Who. It was fabulous. I did it with a whole bunch of other amazing Disney content creators, and it was put on by the Theme Millennials as a fundraiser for the cast member pantry. So please go and check it out. Please donate to cast member pantry. I think we all know the situation there, and they can use all the help they can get if you've seen those long lines of people just waiting to get food, and we want to make sure those cast members are taken care of, so check that out. Also, we had a few kind of Disney Vacation Club updates this week. We heard from the Condo Association meeting. Normally, those Condo Association meetings are a little on the boring side. This year, however, they did discuss giving us a refund for the months that the resorts were closed. Depending on where your home resort is, you're getting a certain amount back for the dues that you paid for last year. I think we're getting back like $200 and some odd, and that will be applied towards this year's dues. And as far as I can tell, it doesn't matter who owned the contract when that happened. If you own the contract now, you will get refunded for those dues. So somebody correct me if I'm wrong on that, but you know, every little bit helps, and it will be nice to see that credit. Although, of course, we wish the resorts had not been closed, but they did have a lot of things that they didn't have to pay for. And I don't know if y'all know this, but if you're a DVC member, about 75% of our dues go to paying cast members to do their jobs. So whenever we take a little bit of an increase in dues, I never complain because a lot of that increase is wages. And I know we all want to make sure that the wages at Disney are fair and equitable. And so, yeah, I never have any problem with that. DVC also announced a few refurbishments. Nothing really to write home about, nothing that we weren't expecting. I will put a link to DVC News down in the description box. They're always such a great resource for all those things, so you can definitely check it out there. I do have a bit of an update on our family trip. I mentioned this in another video, but I'm not sure I formally announced that we really are going to try to get a grand villa for our trip to Old Key West a year from January. So that's kind of exciting. We've never stayed in a grand villa before, and I've always been a little enamored with it. So I'm kind of excited to be able to do that. So other than that, of course, we had all of the shareholders meeting announcements. The big thing there was all of the Disney Plus news. I am not going to get into all that. A lot of it was Star Wars franchise related, which, you know, yes, I'm excited about. Yes, we will probably watch. But I mean, it was just show after show after show in the Star Wars franchise. So if that is something you were into, that's exciting. And I think, yay you, and I will watch probably some of it, and my boys will probably watch all of it, and, you know, hip, hip, hooray. Other big news coming out of Disney, which isn't really Disney related, is of course the vaccine started in the US. It started in the UK, I think, last week. So hooray, vaccine. Yes, this girl will be getting the vaccine. Yes, I will be getting both doses of the vaccine. The lovely governor of Florida said something about how you should only have to get one. No, I will be getting what my doctor recommends, which will be both doses of the Pfizer vaccine. I'm not sure when normal people like me will be eligible for that, but I do feel like we are at the beginning of the end of this thing. And that is sort of Disney Parks news, right? Because that means the sooner we can get everybody vaccinated, the sooner we can feel comfortable going to the parks. Although they have said we should expect masks and social distancing for a little bit yet, just due to the fact that even though once we've been vaccinated, we can still carry it. And so until the majority of the population has been vaccinated, we're still going to have to do some of these things that we don't love, but please keep doing them. Please get vaccinated if you are medically able. And I personally was very excited about that. I feel like now I can see sort of the clouds starting to part, and it's just getting to be very exciting for me. So what other big news? Oh, I know what I wanted to talk about Disney Plus. I have found one Christmas film that I do not feel you need to watch, and I'm going to rant about it for just a second. I did this whole thing on Twitter. It is the film One Magic Christmas. Now, I watched this film as a kid. My mom had it on VHS. I loved this film as a kid. This film is messed up, y'all. Messed up. Our main character is Mary Steenburgen. She is a hardworking mother of 2 children and an unemployed husband who wants to open a bike shop, and she's working double shifts, and she's taking care of all of the housework, and she's trying to pack to move, and the poor woman cannot even get a shower. However, an angel's going to visit her and punish her because she does not have the spirit of Christmas. So the message of the movie is, women of the world, do everything for everybody and make sure you smile. And I was not here for it. Maybe it's because it is, great unpleasantness land, and so many mothers in America are taking the brunt of all of the extra work and the homeschooling and the virtual learning and all of that. But this film is messed up and actually feels a little misogynistic. There, I said it. So I know a lot of you love this film. The rest of you, if you want to watch it to see if I'm right, feel free to watch it. Otherwise, please take this off of your holiday list. And I don't know why Disney Plus has it on there, because it's just horrible. Poor Mary Steenburgen the whole time. And I won't. Okay, so the angel punishes her by making her think her entire family has been killed. What? And punishing her for what? For being overworked, for having to do everything for everybody, for being worried about money. It's just, I can't. All right, so we're not watching One Magic Christmas. Or if we are, we're understanding that it's a strange, dated film and just bad. It's just bad. Mary Steenburgen, however, is fabulous in everything, and I love her. Okay, so the other big piece of news that we need to talk about that I'm a little bummed out about, and actually was a little bit blue and depressed about, is going to come out in my questions. This month's Q&A, I went straight to my patrons. If you are not already a patron, you really should be. If you're on there, you get exclusive content. You get to talk to me all the time. I think they get sick of me. It's where I do my live streams now, and it's just an amazing group of people. So if you're interested in any of that, make sure you go check out my Patreon page. I asked them if they had any questions, and they had some great ones, as always, because they're always fabulous, and I love them dearly. There are 155 now patrons, which kind of blows my mind, but they really are just the best people. But the first question I'm going to take is from Ashley, and Ashley wants to know, now that it's been a while since you've been to Disney, do you miss anything that surprises you? I miss the Magical Express, which is weird, but I think being on it would mean we're close to back to normal. I think that what I miss the most is just being outside and strolling around the parks. It's not riding an attraction. It's not even a particular restaurant. It's just kind of being there and existing in the space. And, hearing the music of whatever area I'm in, smelling the smells, hearing the light, like if I'm in Epcot, hearing the live entertainment. Maybe it's way off in the distance, but it's there, and it's just festive and exciting. And, I did not expect to miss the sounds as much. Isn't that strange? So yeah, if I had to say something that surprises me, it is the sounds of Walt Disney World. And I could do a whole video about the sounds of Walt Disney World that I miss, right? Because that's everything from the train whistle, which, we hadn't heard the train in a minute. So definitely the train whistle, to, the sound of the monorail overhead, to the sound of the friendship boats, to the sound of, the water on Bay Lake. I could go on and on and on, but it truly is the sounds. And yeah, those are the things that when I go back, I'm really going to try to appreciate more than I ever have. I wouldn't say that I don't appreciate or didn't appreciate those things when I was going before, but I think all of us will feel like we're going to appreciate it all that much more once we can all be back there together again. So yeah, love that. Great question, Ashley. So this next one is from Lynn Lee, and this is Lynn's very first question as a patron. So even though I've answered this question before, I'm going to go ahead and answer it again because you might be new and you might not have heard me answer it, and it's been a while. And her question is, how did you fall in love with Disney? Did you get taken as a child by your parents, or was it later in life? And a lot of you know the story. I was born in Southern California. My birthday is July 17th, which is actually the same birthday as Disneyland. Disneyland Park and I are birthday twins. And growing up, we almost always went to Disneyland on my birthday. We lived close enough that we went frequently. My parents used to go to Disneyland when they were dating, and it's just got a lot of really strong family memories for me. And it's one of those places that I just always as a child found to be so magical. And even when I was a little girl, it wasn't the rides that I loved. It was being on Main Street, hearing the sounds, smelling the smells. So I would say I fell in love with it because of my parents as a child. And then I definitely carried those memories over to my own children. And now as Disney Vacation Club members, we've had so many memories with our kids that I joke that Disney is my lake house. And that is how I feel. It's where our best family memories are. And that wasn't even the Disney parks, right? That was just the magic of us being together. But the Disney parks have always been the context in which that happened. So that's really kind of I feel like Disney is part of my family's story as much as anything else in my life. And I just hope that it always will be. And then this last question is really where I wanted to spend most of my time today anyway, and it is from Meg Rich. Hey Jen, love your YouTube channel. Thank you, Meg. My question is, how do you feel about the change of Star Wars race weekend changing to a virtual race? I understand completely that it's not a good idea for Disney to coordinate such a large event and agree with the decision, but I'm still really disappointed. The half was to be my first half marathon, my first Disney race, and it was to take place on the anniversary of the day my dad passed away 3 years ago. I guess I'm just struggling with the emotional side of it. Thank you for providing such amazing content. So first off, Meg, let me just say, I'm so sorry for your loss. You may not know this about my story, but I actually started running to deal with grief from the loss of my dad. I ran my first Walt Disney World Marathon on his birthday in honor of him. And so I get this so much. Running is a huge part of my journey of dealing with the loss of my dad. And so the fact that you were really excited to run that in order to honor him, I get how disappointing that is. I'm very disappointed about not being able to run it. I mean, this was the first race that was canceled due to the great unpleasantness. And here we are a whole year later and we're still not able to do it, and it was still canceled. So, I was supposed to be perfect in that, and that it was supposed to be my 5th year to run it, because I've run every year since the inaugural race was supposed to be last year's race. And, this is always when my friend Sarah and I get together. It's been a girlfriend's weekend for us for as long as it's been going on. So yeah, disappointed on a lot of levels. Not surprised, disappointed. Also a little insecure about the future of Run Disney and what happens next with Run Disney in general. I really don't know. I don't know how all of the changes financially for the company are going to affect Run Disney. I don't know if people are going to want to participate in large races like Run Disney again. To be honest, over the last few years, let's be real. I've been running Disney for over a decade. I have run the Walt Disney World Marathon 3 times. I've run the half marathon, I think 6 times. I've run the Princess Half Marathon 6 times. I've run all of the Star Wars races. I did Wine and Dine. I did the Disneyland races. Personally, I don't need to run any more Disney races. However, I know there's a whole bunch of you, there's a whole new generation of you that were using those as kind of a bucket list destination for you. You'd been training and you were excited. And it is really disappointing to see it not happening. And it's really disappointing to see it not on the calendar at all, because this concludes the calendar. Like, there isn't anything else on the calendar. And it makes me insecure about the future of Run Disney. My hope, of course, is that Run Disney will come back. I hope that those of you that started running because of Run Disney, that you will continue to do the virtual races if you want to do that. I don't really do virtual races, maybe because if you've seen my medal stand, I have more medals than anyone could ever want or need. And so that doesn't really motivate me. I have found myself, I'll be quite honest, running less and less now that I'm not training and doing a lot more other forms of exercise like my ballet and really long, a lot of long hikes and walks, which is a little bit easier on my body than running, at 50 years old. But I absolutely have a dream of one day training again for a Run Disney race, and I really hope that's going to happen. So to everyone that this was going to be your first race, I hope you will continue to train, and that I would definitely recommend doing the virtual race if it was going to be one of your first races, because through social media you can still feel like you're part of something. I definitely recommend my friend Heather Jurgensen's channel. I will put that down in the description box. She's training for Star Wars Half. She's actually going to run it down there. She's going on a family vacation with her family, and she's just going to run it with her own family, which I think is a very cool idea. And it's one of those things where it doesn't mean you can't run. It doesn't mean you can't feel like you're part of the Run Disney community just because we're not going to be having an actual race. But yeah, that news was hard for me. I'm not going to lie. And again, totally knew it was coming, but it just bummed me out. We've had so many disappointments in 2020, and it just can feel like it's piling on, right? And sometimes it just feels like the straw that broke the camel's back. But I feel like there is light at the end of the tunnel. I don't feel like it's a train. I feel like we do all have better days ahead, and I'm looking forward to what that looks like. I think we just have a couple more disappointments left before this thing is finally over. So with that, let's talk a little bit about the holiday season. I know a lot of you are going to be away from family that you're normally with over the holidays. For us, we're going to be the same as we always are, because it's usually just the 5 of us for Christmas. So I'm very grateful for that. But I just want to reach out and say to those of you that are celebrating a little more untraditionally this year, I hope you still find a way to make it really, really special. We're going to be doing some different things. Like our grocery store has been out of stuff. So I think we're going to be kind of creative with what we're making for food. We might just do like a frozen food. I don't know what we're doing yet. But I know it's going to be a great holiday because we'll be together, and we do still have so much to be grateful for. Love you guys. Whatever you're doing, be really good to each other, and I'll talk to you really soon. Bye-bye.